Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to Assembly Line Balancing Tutorial with us, System Manufacture Laboratory. Before we're going to start the tutorial, I will give explanation to you about the introduction of assembly line balancing, and I'll tell you about the definition of Kilbitz-Wester heuristic method, the first method that we are going to use. Okay, now I'll tell you about the learning objective for this tutorial. First, practitioners can understand the concepts and the theories of the Kilbitz-Wester heuristic. Second, the practitioner can understand the input and output of the calculation using the Kilbitz-Wester heuristic method. Third, the practitioner can calculate the efficiency of the production line. And last, the practitioner can determine the best workstation composition using the Kilbitz-Wester heuristic method. And this is the outline for this topic. First, the definition of assembly line balancing. Second, assembly line balancing terminology. Third, assembly line balancing parameter. Fourth, Kilbitz and Wester heuristic method. Fifth, case study using Kilbitz and Wester heuristic method. And the last, we are going to use Microsoft Excel for the calculation. This is the definition of assembly line balancing. Balancing is a method of assigning several interrelated jobs on a production line so that there is the same completion time at each workstation. If the assignments carried out at each station produce the same time, it can be concluded that the system has achieved line balance and the smooth production system will be maintained. Now the terminology of assembly line balancing. The first one is precedence diagram. Precedence diagram is a graphical or tabular representation of an operational structure consisting of processes, such as sequence of events and operational relationships. The second, work element. Work elements are jobs that must be done in an assembly activity. So there are some tasks you should be done before you can move to the next task. Third, workstation. Workstation is an area, place, or location where production activities will be carried out. And the last is cycle time. Cycle time, according to Nasution 2009, is the time interval between components leaving and entering the production line, or the time to complete one unit of product from the start to finish. Then, there are four parameters in assembly line balancing. The first one is balance delay. Balance delay is the ratio between the idle in the assembly line with the available time. The formula is balance delay equal the total of the workstation multiplied by cycle time, then minus it with the total of operation time, and then divided it by the total of the workstation, multiply it by the cycle time, and then the last multiple all the formula with 100%. So the result must be percentage. The second, line efficiency. Line efficiency is the ratio between the time used and the time available. The formula is line efficiency equal the total of the station time divided it by the total of the workstation multiplied by the cycle time, and the last multiply it by 100%. So balance delay and line efficiency, the result must be percentage. Third, idle time. Idle time is a period of time associated with employees waiting. The formula, idle time equal the total of the workstation multiplied by the maximum of the station time, and then minus it with the total of the operation time. And then the last, smoothness index. Smoothness index is used to measure the relative waiting time level of an assembly line. The formula, smoothness index equal square root the total of the maximum station time minus the station time itself. And then don't forget to square it. Okay, now we are going to work the case study using Microsoft Excel. Please remember the inputs for this T and D. T means working hour per day. We are going to use minutes. So 8 hours equal 480 minutes. This is the formula. And then D means total production per day. The value is 53 units. Then now we are going to know how many the cycle time. This is how to do it. First, you must know the TI max or the maximum operational time for this element case. Take a look at this. There is element case. I'm sorry. So, what is the biggest or the highest element time in this column? The answer is 5. So please write 5 at this column like this. So for the TI max is 5. Then the T divided by D is equal 480 minutes divided by 53 units. So the result is 9.056604. This is for the cycle time. In this section or initial section, please take a look at this initial iteration 1, because we are going to use the heuristic system. And now we are going to start with initial. For the set initial or cycle time initial, we are going to use TI max. So the set initial, please write down 5. And then there is the symbol K. It means the total of the class or total of the workstation, guys. The formula is equal. Oh, I'm sorry, I forget to sum this TI. So don't forget to do the sum this like this. This TI, please sum like this. So the total of the operational time is 32 minutes. And then we're going back to the total of the workstation. This is equal 32 divided by the set initial or 5 and enter. So the result is 6.4. But we are going to round up it, so it becomes 7. So there is total 7 workstation for this initial. And then after we know the class, the total of the class or the workstation, we're going to make this work element to be a group. So how to do it? The first thing, we must know that the value of the TI is cannot more than set initial. I will give you the example for this element case. Take a look for this work element. First work element. The TI or the time is 5. 5 is equal the set initial 5. So it's not more than 5 or lower than 5, but it is equal. So it means it can be the first workstation. Remember that this column, it means workstation. This is the first workstation. And then take a look to second work element. The TI or the time is 5 minutes. It is equal, same as the CT initial. It is 5. So I will write down it is the second workstation. And then please take a look at this third work element. It has 3 minutes for the time. It is lower than 5, right? So we can go to the next work element. It is the fourth work element. It is the fourth work element. And then please see the TI or the time. It is 3. Now sum it. 3 plus 3 equals 6. Remember, the TI is cannot more than 5 than the set initial. So 6 is more than 5, right? So it cannot be one workstation. So the third work element, it will be third workstation or third column. And then for the fourth work element, it is have 3 minutes. Like this. You can see it. And then it is the lower than 5, so we can move to the next work element. Fifth work element. It have 2 minutes, so 3 plus 2, we are going to sum it. 3 plus 2 is equal 5. Then this is the work fourth and fifth element have the value same as the city initial. So these two work element can be merged and it can be fourth workstation or fourth column. So please take a look at this sixth work element. It have 4 ti or 4 minute. I'm sorry. 4 minute is lower than 5, so we can move to the next work element. It is 7 work element. It is have 1 minute, so we can sum it. 4 plus 1 is equal 5. It is same as the city initial, so we can merge it. 6 and 7 work element, we can merge it, and it become fifth workstation or fifth column. Same as here, you can see this is the 8th work element with 9 work element. Please take a look for this time. 4 sum 4 plus 1. It is 5. So 5 is same as city initial. And then we can merge it like this. And then please write down 6 column or 6 workstation. And we have 10th work element. It is alone now. It have 4 workstation. It is have 4 minutes, so it can be 7 workstation. After we group this work element into some column or some workstation, now please move to the column sum. And don't forget to merge this, the workstation that become 1, 2 or more workstation that become 1 to become one workstation like this. And then for the column sum, it is the total of the time, the total of the station time. I will give you the example. For the first column sum, please take a look at this column or workstation. The first workstation, it is have 5 minutes. So please write down 5 minutes like this. And then it's same as the second column. It is have 5 minutes. Please see right here. So please write down 5. And then the third column or third workstation, it is have 3 minutes. Please write down 3. And then this the fourth workstation. It is have 3 plus 2. So it means the fourth workstation have 5 minutes. And then same as the fourth workstation, for the fifth workstation, it is have 5 minutes because 4 minutes plus 1 minute equal 5 minutes. And then it is same again. This is 6 workstation. 4 minutes plus 1 minute equal 5. And the last for the 7 workstation, it is have 4 minutes, just like this. And then don't forget to sum it, all of it. Sum, and then drag down like this and click enter. So the total is same 32 and 32. If the total is more than 32 or more than 32, your calculation is wrong. I can assume it. And then next move to the cumulative sum. It is same like the column sum, but a little different. I will show you. For this column, first column, we take 5. And then the second column, we use the formula equal 5 above it, and then plus 5 in here. Is equal 10. Do it again. Equal 10 plus 3. Do it again. 13 equal 5. 18 equal 5. 23 equal 5. And the last 28 equal 4. So we can make it center like this. Nah. So the total for the TI, the column sum and cumulative sum must be same. Remember guys. If the total lower or more than 32, your calculation is wrong. So you must do it again from the beginning. And now after we work with this element case, now we are going to work with this table, summary table. We must know how many workstations that we have. So this column or this section, we are going to write down how many workstations it have. So like this. So in the element case, it have 7 workstation. So please write down like this, 1, 2, until it's 7. It depends your workstation that you have make. And then for ST or station time, please write down this or column sum. So 5, 5, 3, 5, 5, 5, and 4. And then the delay of station time equal STI max minus STI. So the highest station time minus the station time itself. I will show you. So the formula is equal, and then we can see right here what is the highest value for this column sum. So the highest is 5 for the maximum station time. Don't forget to click F4 so we can log this value, and then minus ST or station time itself. Please click like here, and then click and then enter. So the value must be 0, and we just drag down like this. And then for the square, it is simple, equal this delay of station time. Then please write down like this. Okay, and then let's drag down. Don't forget to sum the station time and the square too. So the square is 5. And now we are going to move with the parameter. This is almost the last part for this method. And now please pay attention to this parameter. First of all, I will work with line efficiency. Please pay attention for this formula. The formula is equal. The total of the station time, it is 32, divided by K, or the total of the workstation, it is 7, and then multiplied by the cycle time, or 5. And then don't forget to multiply it by 100%. So the unit is percentage, and the result is 91%. Move to the smoothness index. The formula is equal SQRT, and then click right here the total of the square, and then enter. So the result is 2.23 minutes. And then for the balance delay, the formula is equal. The total of the workstation, it is 7, multiplied by 5, or the cycle time, and then minus the total of the operational time, it is 32. And then please divide it by the total of the workstation, it is 7, and multiply it by the cycle time, it is 5. I'm sorry. And then the last, please multiply it by 100%. So the result is 9%. Please remember, the efficiency line and the balance delay unit is percentage. The last parameter is idle time. The formula is equal and then the total of the workstation multiplied by the highest station time. It is 5, you can see it, and then minus the total of the operational time. It is 32, and then enter. So the result is 3 minutes, and that's how you find the parameter. After we find the parameter, the result of the parameter, the value of the parameter, now the last, I will show you how to make the precedence diagram. So you remember it? What is the precedence diagram? It is like the representative of the work element and the time. So we are going to use shape. Go to insert and shape, and then we choose this oval. But we are going to make the circle. The shape fill, I will make it no fill, and outline is like this. Please scale it just smaller like this. This is for the element, work element, the representative of the work element. So how do you make the precedence diagram? First of all, you must take a look at this column. There is predecessor, and then workstation or column, work element, and TI or the operational time. So please, we are going to make the work element first. The work element, we are going to move it by the workstation. It depends from this column. So I will show you how. For the first work element, it is in the first column or first workstation. So please write here and make the diagram, and please write 1. Oh, I'm sorry. I must change the theme color. Nah, like this. This is for the first work element, and it is in the first workstation. WS1, WS2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, it means the workstation, guys. So we must make the representative of the work element first. For the second workstation, it is second work element. Just copy it like this. So second work element, and this is, third workstation, it is 3, or third work element, and then at the fourth workstation it has 2 work element. So we are going to double it like this. Nah, this is 4 and 5th work element. It is same at 5th workstation. It has 2 work element. Just double it like this. And then 6th and 7th. And the 6th workstation, this has 2 work element, 8th and 9. And the last is 7th workstation. It has just one work element. It is 10. Okay, so now what are we going to do? We are going to make the diagram, or like the flow chart. Please pay attention to me. First, take a look at this predecessor. We are going to look at this predecessor and this work element. So predecessor, if you do not know what is predecessor is the task you must be done before you can go or you can move to the next task. So we can see that the first work element is the first task. So it has no other task before the first work element. So we are going to put it right here, just like this. And then now we are going to move to the second work element. It is second work element, like this in second workstation. It has a predecessor first work element. So we are going to draw the shapes, the arrow, like here, line arrow. And then we are going to move it like this. We can arrange later while we can see the predecessor. So the one we put it like here, the back arrow like here and like this. So after the first work element, it must go to the second work element like this. Now move to the third work element like this, right here. Please take a look. So the third work element, it has two predecessor, first work element and second work element. So we put it right here. Then we can draw the arrow from the second work element to third work element like this. And then we can move to the fourth work element. The predecessor is first work element. So from the first work element, it moves to fourth work element. So we can draw the arrow like this. From the first, let's take a look. From the first, go to the fourth, like this. And then the fifth work element, it come by first and fourth work element. So it will go like this. And do this. You must do the same for 6 element, 7, 8, 9, and 10 work element. I will show you. For the 6th work element, it is first, 4, and 5th, like this. We can arrange it later. And then 7, it is still the same. Continue from 6th work element like this. And then 8. And then 8, it is continue from 7th work element. So I'm sorry, it will be like this. And then please we are going to move to the 8th work element like this. Please continue from 7th work element. Draw arrow like this, arrange it and put here. And then please take a look at 9th work element. It is as the predecessor first work element until 8th work element. So it comes by two arrow like this. From the 3rd work element, draw the arrow. We give it right here, and then move to the 9th work element like this. And then it is the same. Continue from the 8th work element and give it to 9th work element. And the last, the 10th work element, continue from 9th work element like this. Okay. And the last part from this section is you must give the time. Example, I will give the time using the text box. Oh, I'm sorry. Like here. For the first work element, it has 5 minutes. And then the second work element is as 5 minutes too. For the third work element, I'm sorry, it is 3 minutes. And the fourth work element is 3. Fifth work element is 2. You can see it right here, 2. And then sixth work element is 4. Seventh work element is 1. And then eighth work element is 4. Ninth work element is 1 minute. I'm sorry, there's a mistake. It is 1 minute. And the last is 10th work element. It is 4 minutes. And then that's how you should how you make the precedence diagram for this method. So it depends your workstation. If it has 7 workstations, you must make the 7 column like this. If you have 6 workstation, you must make the column is 6. Okay friends, that is for the initial for the Kilbridge Western heuristic method. But I will repeat again. In the heuristic system, it must contains the iteration. Iteration means you must calculate this method over and over again until you can find the best solution for the problem. So I will make the first iteration, and then like this. If you can see, you can ask me, what is the difference between the initial and the iteration? What the first iteration? So the method is still the same. The formula or how you do it for the first from input until parameter or precedence diagram is still the same, but the difference is right here, the cycle time. For the input we use 480 minutes and 53 units for the total production per day. And then how we know how much or what is the best cycle time we can use? We must take a look right here for the cycle time limitation. The cycle time, it is cannot lower by the 5, and it is cannot more than 9.05. So we can take 6, 7, 8 or 9 maybe, or 9.0 or 5.5. It depends on you. So I'm going to take 6 for the cycle time. Remember, we can know how we can know the cycle time from here. Cycle time limitation. It cannot lower than Ti max, and it cannot more than T divided by D. So I will take 6 minutes for the cycle time. And now I will tell you if the cycle time change from the initial before. If in the initial it is 5 minutes, and now we are going to use 6 minutes, the class or the total of the workstation should be changed like here. If I change it to 5 minutes, it will be 7 workstation. If I change it to 7, the cycle time, it will change by 5 workstation. So we must group the work element into 5 workstation. But in here, I will show you if I using the 6 minutes for the cycle time. And the class or the total workstation should be changed by 6. And then from the working step, it is the same from the initial before. You the TI or the time, it is cannot more than 6 or the cycle time. Example, I will give you example. For the first walk element, it it says 5 minutes for the time, right? So 5 is lower than 6. We can move to the second walk element. It is as 5 minutes, so we can sum it. 5 plus 5 equal 10. 10 is more than 6, so it cannot be merged into one workstation. So we can just write here, write like here, one or first workstation. It is the same example if like this. Seventh walk element, it says 1 minute. So 1 minute is lower than 6. Please go to the next one. It is eighth walk element. It is as 4 minutes. So we can sum it. 1 plus 4 equal 5. 5 is still lower than 6. So we can go to the next one. It is ninth walk element. Nah, ninth walk element, it contains 1 minute. So 1 plus 4 is 5, and then plus 1 is 6. So these 3 walk element, it is equal like the cycle time. So it can be merged into 5th workstation, just like here. And then don't forget, for the total of the operational time, the station time, and the cumulative, it must be same. If not same, it is lower or higher than 32. I can assume that your calculation is wrong. And then we can summary it like here. If in the initial we use 7 workstation, in this first iteration we can use 6 workstation like here. And now for the station time, we can take it from here, the column sum. I will give you an example. It is same from before, like the initial. First, please take a look at this column. First column, it has 5 column sum, or the time is 5 for the station time. It is same as the second column, it is 5, and then third column is 3 plus 3, so it will be 6 minutes. And just this take just from here, here, and here. So it must be 6 minutes, 6 minutes, and 4 minutes in glass. And then for the delay of station time, it is same from before, that the highest station time minus the station time itself, like this. Don't forget to click F4 for the lock, and we can choose the highest station time from here. So it will be 6, and then just enter it. Don't forget to square it, and this is the total. And then after we are done from this element case and this summary, now we are going to work with the parameter. Okay, for the parameter itself, it's still the same for the formula, like the initial. Example in the efficiency line, it's the same. You can see it like here. It is equal the total of the operational time divided by the total of the class or the workstation, and then multiply it by cycle time. And then in the end, please multiply it by 100%. So the result is a percentage. And then for the smoothing index, it's still the same. For the balance delay, you can see right here. And the last, it is the idle time. You can see it like here. Okay, now for the precision diagram, it's still the same. there is no difference between initial and first iteration, but the difference is in the column. If in initial we use 7 workstation, in first iteration we use 6 workstation like this. So we can just arrange it like this. It's the same. Let's take a look at this. Okay, that is for the first iteration. So you can work by second iteration, third iteration, fourth or 5 maybe, until you can find the best optimization. And this is the last section for the method Gilbert method heuristic. You must compare it between the initial and the other iteration. For example, in this method I use one iteration, just one, and we must compare it with the initial. So from the efficiency line, the higher is efficiency line, it is good. And the smoothing index, balance delay, and idle time, the lower the value, it is good. And then we can compare it the efficiency. First of all, we can compare it the efficiency line. Efficiency line. For the initial, the value is 91%, and for the iteration, first iteration is 89%. So, from the initial, it is good. Than the iteration 1. It is the same. It is lower than the first iteration. It is lower than first iteration, and the idle time is lower than iteration. So it is the good than the other. So after this, you can make the analysis. Why is the initial is better than the first iteration? Please make it, and maybe you can search from the journal, or maybe article or paper or something like that. So that's all for the Microsoft Excel session. Thank you. Okay, friends, that's all from me. I'm sorry if I have some mispronounce or something you can understand. If you want to ask about this method or the theory, you can ask the System Manufacture Laboratory Assistant. You can get the contact from the website, or maybe from the Instagram, or in the guidebook. Okay, that's all. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good luck.